Video mailer analytics. Lots of calls, lots of emails with regard to this subject. Usually it's someone asking me, hey, can MediaFast provide this? The simple answer is yes, but we choose not to. And we choose not to because we value your privacy, the privacy of your clients, and just we certainly don't want to put you in a situation where you're going to be liable for a Privacy Act violation. So, having said that, let me talk a little bit about it because I think that it's a cool subject and it needs a bit more in depth explanation. So, at what cost does this data come, and what are the pitfalls and stuff like that? But let me start at the cool part of it. The cool part is that if you send a video mailer, it would look something like this. Okay, so it's got a screen in it, right? And something like that. When you send a traditional video mailer, that is going to go out. It's a very simple device. It opens, it plays, it turns itself off. It does that over and over again. It's very dependable. Okay. When you're looking for analytics, so data that provides you open rates, how long on video, and you will receive also geopositioning, so like where this piece is at any given time. Location change, I think, is what people are using in the marketplace to use a better term than geopositioning. Um, you basically turn it into what would be a cell phone. So basically, you're adding a SIM chip, and along with that SIM chip chassis in the chipset, there's a little GPS module that comes with it, and that provides all this cool data. So it opens and it sends all this data, to servers and God knows where they are. Okay. Now, from the recipient standpoint, when they receive this, typically, if the supplier is trying to comply with somewhat of the Privacy Act, okay, they're going to add a decal or a sticker on the spine or the flap that has little 2-point or maybe even 4-point type with a little legal disclaimer. And that basically says, hey, by opening the sticker or by breaking the sticker and opening the flap, you now are agreeing to provide us tracking all of the time while you have this piece and you're engaging with it, basically. And I know exactly where you are at a given time. So I don't, if you guys have opened pieces of mail and things like that, you're not going to read that little decal. It's usually some branding decal and nobody's really reading what it says. Never mind thinking that by breaking that seal, you've given up privacy well beyond what you agree with, let's say with Apple or Google or somebody like that. At least big names that can control your data. And even they have problems. So never mind some small company that's using this data. So you want to be cautious when you're going down this road and you're considering or contemplating the need for the data to justify the campaign, because that need for that data to justify that campaign will come at a cost, and it usually comes at a souring of the experience for the client. And I'm going to explain. So they've opened it. So let's just picture this. Miss McGee opens this piece and it sent a ping to a server, and the server goes now to some dashboard that a salesperson is viewing. And the dashboard says, Miss McGee just opened the video brochure. And that person goes, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to call Miss McGee. So he calls Miss McGee and says, hey, Miss McGee, I see you're engaging with our video brochure. Now, Miss McGee probably goes, oh, that's kind of weird. I wonder how they knew that. And then the salesperson may continue in their infinite wisdom and say, hey, I thought you lived in New York, but I see you're in Colorado. You happen to be traveling or something? Well, now that puts it in a whole creepy type of experience. And I am certain that Miss McGee did not know that they were going to be tracked at this level. For as much as she could be in her car with her entire family traveling somewhere, and her son or daughter opened up that piece and is engaging with it, and now you get a phone call. So this person that she does not know knows exactly where she is at that moment. That is a major red flag in most cases, which leads to some Privacy Act violations in many states, because she did not know. Maybe just I had no way of knowing that if I broke this seal, I mean, I can't even read the text on the seal to even give up all these rights. So I believe that when you're considering analytics and how cool they may be, you really have to sit and say, let's weigh this out. I want the analytics because I need to justify my campaigns, like you would in a Google AdWords campaign, where you would say, hey, this is not working because nobody's engaging with it, or I need to tweak this or that or the other to try to make this more engaging. And that's how your upper management maybe can understand that things are working. those Google campaigns are shotgun blast in most cases. We're not talking about a rifle approach with a video mailer or a tangible video mailer. So there are other means or other ways that which you can still justify success of your campaign where it becomes an unintrusive environment and it becomes a very pleasant experience with the recipient. So QR codes, managing landing pages, things like that. There's a lot of different ways to do this stuff. So I want you guys to be aware that um, there's some Privacy Act concerns with these pieces. I want you to be aware that whomever you engage with that is offering this service, that there's very clear in writing statements that they will indemnify you if there's a Privacy Act violation because you're turning over your data to some individual and that individual could be sending that data overseas. And I just got back from overseas. I saw very sensitive data for mailings being handled overseas, and I wouldn't want my data there. I want my data here, housed, controlled, and when I'm done with it, it should be deleted and nobody has access to it. So you should be able to get those things in writing from that. If they're unwilling to provide you that in writing, I would be concerned. If they need to put their branding on your piece because of some technology claim that they have, I understand that they're marketing on your piece. There is no one in the industry that should be able to do that. If anybody could claim that, would be MediaFast because we have over 15 patents on these products, and we never put any of our branding anywhere. We don't market off our customers' pieces. So just some areas that you guys should be dialing into and making sure you really understand the road that you're venturing down and potential pitfalls and what cost that data comes at. Okay. So if you have other questions, please reach out to us. Everybody here is very knowledgeable on these topics. We'd love to help and dive in deeper if necessary. Okay. Take care.